all at once. External style sheets are stored in CSS files. Now I'll teach you this when I go down. Now a style is something like what you have it here, like an attribute. Here, a style is just like an attribute, but an attribute in attribute, like let's say align to center, it centers its content. But if you want more attributes to add here, there are few only. If you go and see, there are only few align and very few, very few that H1 has. So what if you really want more attributes to add? Then you use something called style. Here you are, there is one called style. So let me just teach you what it is all about in the next slides. Right, it says here the syntax, how it behaves. It should have a sector or a selector, declaration, and so forth. So a style should have at least a tag, the selector, what tag you really want, and its declaration properties and its values. Now here H1 has a declaration of color blue and another declaration font size 12 pixels values. So here it says down over here, the selector points to the HTML element like the H1, and the declaration block contains one or more declarations specified by a semicolon. It separates from the semicolon. So these two are separated from another style. Each declaration includes a CS property, name, and a value separated by a colon. Okay. A CS declaration always ends with the semicolon. So you should remember to end the style with, like what you learned in Pascal, end it with a semicolon. And the declaration blocks are surrounded by a curly bracket. All your styles are surrounded by a curly bracket. Let me show you that as an example. Here you are. In my next slide, there is a small a paragraph style given. P should be centered, align to center. So P is the declaration, as you know, the selector P, and then the declaration of color and its value, text align and its value. So it is surrounded by two curly bracket, a background, and so forth. I'll teach you how it is done in the HTML part. Now let me just show you how it is done. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sites, web pages for you to learn them. First of all, let me show you the internal style sheet, internal HTML. Over here you see that head, after the title is over, you start the tag called style and its attribute called type equals to text CSS, and now you declare what you really want it to be given as styles. So the body should contain a background color of light blue. H1 it should contain a color of navy and its margin to the left of 40 pixels. I'll show you that within a little time. And then that declaration is over. Each tag ends with its curly brace bracket, h1, and with its curly brace bracket, p, its styles and its curly brace bracket, p, the paragraph should contain a font family of book antique, a font size of medium, a color of maroon, and then the style is ended with 2 curly brace bracket. And if you are done with the style, you can close the style at the end. Now if you go to the design view, you will see that the background has a color of light blue, and then the H1 has a small increment. Do you see that it's not in the where the paragraph is, given a small a margin of 40 pixels, and then it has its color navy, and the paragraph has a red, I think a maroon color given to it. Very straightforward internal style sheet. Next we will learn the inline style. Inline style is very commonly used, and for your convenience it's easy to do it. H1, and then you can go ahead with its style, and the color that you really want. H1 color navy, margin to left 40, high kids. P the same way. I can add another one if you want. Let me show you this. If let's say if I want another H2 tag, I can go to the starting tag and keep a space, style. Under style, what do I really want? Let's say color, and its value, let me take a maroon, and write my contain in between the H1, H2 and H close. Let's say my name is Pradeep Achula Pereira, and let's go and see that in the design view now. There you are. Do you see that I have got the same thing that I really wanted? The style is applied. So if you are going to write a style inside the tag itself, that is known as inline style. This is internal, where you go up next to the title, you start style type equals to text CSS, and then you declare what you really want. I prefer this very much. Most of the programmers prefer this to be on top, and then you can just, you don't need to do type any attributes at all here, because H1 attribute is already given its value here. Now if I start another H1 down under here, H1, and simply make another content, my name is rectangular, and if you go and see that in the design view, it has the same attributes given